Middle school students hoping to attend elite New York City high schools like Stuyvesant in Lower Manhattan have one way in, a standardized test called the Specialized High School Aptitude Test, or the SHSAT. But Mayor Bill de Blasio and school's Chancellor Richard Carranza say it's time for that to change. These recent high school grads agree.
Everyone can take the test, right? The thing is that no one has the equal and the same preparation for the exam.
It's not the correct way to evaluate a student's merit. No other college uses one single test.
Mohammed Dean, who goes by Dean, says he came just below the cutoff to get into Brooklyn Tech. He and Jorge Morales, both members of the group Teens Take Charge, support the mayor's proposal to eliminate the SHSAT and instead admit students based on grade point average and state test scores.
It is more of a way of looking at the student as a whole rather than this one simple test score that doesn't really showcase what a student is.
Currently, Black and Hispanic students make up nearly 70% of the city's public high school population, but hold just 10% of seats at elite high schools. While dropping the SHSAT needs state approval, earlier this summer, the mayor said the city would do its part to increase diversity by setting aside 20% of seats at the specialized schools for students from high-poverty middle schools who scored just below the test cutoff, and letting those students participate in a summer session called the Discovery Program. The proposals have stoked controversy and outcry from many, including Asian American groups who fear that those students will be pushed aside in the effort to admit other minorities.
That's a punishment to the hardworking kids.
I think this kind of thinking of we should have a racial quota for this kind of elite high school is problematic.
Julia Liu is among the Asian American public school parents who say keep the test and offer better universal test prep instead.
To level the playing field, we should provide access, high-quality K-8 education for all communities.
Eliminating the test is also opposed by a number of alumni groups from the specialized schools. In an open letter, Larry Carey, president of the Brooklyn Tech Alumni Society, wrote, quote, "We advocate for keeping the test because we believe it to be an objective, transparent process for selecting students based on merit. If the mayor has his way, in 3 years the test would be phased out and a majority of seats at the elite schools would be reserved for the top 7% of students from every middle school." David Bloomfield is an education professor at Brooklyn College and the CUNY Graduate Center.
I support the fact that he wants to get rid of the SHSAT. It's debatable what we replace it with. It should be about really how able you are to soar in a specialized high school. And there are many, many, many students who don't get in, who could soar, and are kept out because of the SHSAT.
It remains unclear whether the mayor's proposal to drop the SHSAT test will get the support it needs from the state legislature. The issue won't be considered up in Albany until the new session begins in January. Outside City Hall, I'm Stacey Delicat, Fox 5 News.